This is Case Tools lab exercise number 5, and in this exercise we are going to see how to draw a state chart diagram. So here we have two questions to draw a state chart diagram. So as we draw the diagram, we'll get to know what are the notations that we use to draw a state chart diagram and how it has to be proceeded. So the first question is to draw the state transition diagram for the following problem, that is, an organization's customer may have complaints about its product. They will be given an email ID for each product where they can send an email where they have a complaint to register. The email email will get converted to complaints and get assigned to the persons handling the product. The complaints can be assigned to different persons and will get tracked to closure. The person handling the complaint will have the facility to communicate with the customer via mail through the system. So now let's see how we can draw a state diagram for this given problem. So we use this symbol, that is the circle which is filled for the start state, and then these are the substates that we have got, and then this is called synchronization, where the states get divided up or they meet up, and then we have the flow lines, and as you can see here, there's another small circle which is filled, and this means junction point, and junction point is after a state where no more flow or no more process can be done, but this need not be the final state. And the final state is two circles. The smaller circle inside will be filled. So this is the final state, the end of the process. And this is called a choice point, where the choices are being made, whether in this example we'll be seeing what choices are being made here. So this plain circle is used for making choices. So here I have taken initially the customer sends a mail or files a complaint. It can be either, but then when it goes to the organization, it will be received as a mail or a complaint. Both will remain as the same. That is why there is a synchronization here. And then after receiving the mail, the segregation of mail happens here. So sometimes the unwanted mails can also be segregated out, and this also can be a junction point, because after this no more process can be done if the mails or the complaint received is not relevant. Then after segregating the mails, there's a choice point. What kind of mails or complaints have to be assigned to what kind of people. So after making this choice, the mails are being assigned to the people in the organization. Once they are being assigned, as you can see here, there's another synchronization here. Communicate through mail to the customer. So once it is being assigned, the process, if the person who is taking care of the process needs any details or information, then they can communicate through the mail to the customer. And after communicating, if the customer finds it satisfactory, then the customer, through communicating the mail, the process can end. That is a junction point. Otherwise, there's another thing called tracking and processing of what exactly happens. Say the person wants a replacement, or the person says the product is damaged. So what this person does is, the person in the organization makes sure the details provided by the customer are relevant and correct, and then he keeps communicating with the customer through mails. And once that process is done, the replacement is being done. So once replacement is done, the whole process itself is complete. So this is the first scenario that we have seen in the state chart diagram. The second question that we are going to see is, draw the state transition diagram for the following problem statement. That is, this project is aimed at developing a patient billing software system that is of importance to a hospital. The patient billing software is a local software system. This system can be used to maintain the location, that is bed number, of each patient either in the ward or the ICU. Information about the patient and the charges for the bed also stored. The patient is also to be billed for the tests taken up and the medicines given and operations carried on. So now let's see how the state chart diagram can be carried out for this big organization. As you can see here, I've started the process, and initially there's a patient who has to provide all his information, and once the information is done, there's a billing. That is usually when the person goes for some checkup or some kind of ailment, they'll have to pay the visiting charges of the doctor. So the billing is done. Only when the billing is done, the consultation is provided. And in the consultation, as you can see, after consulting the doctor says what medicines are to be taken, or what tests need to be taken, and what diagnoses have to be done. So as you can see here, once the consultation is done, the diagnosis details are given. So if the doctor asks the person to take the tests, then the person has to take the test and then again has to visit the consultation, because according to the test reports, the doctor will again give the diagnosis details. After the diagnosis details are done, if the patient has to get admitted, then an admission is provided after looking into the diagnosis details. Then once the admission is done, the patient can be either admitted in the general ward or the ICU ward or the operation theatre, maybe according to the ailment. So each and every place, that is in the operation or ICU or the general ward, the information is being stored. So if it is operation, if the person has to undergo an operation, then all the medicines, then the instruments, then the surgeon, then the age, and all the necessary details are being stored in this information. As well as the same continues for ICU, that say bed number, the nurse in charge, the ward, what all medicines are being given, if they are under the oxygen insulators, etc, etc. So once this is informations are all provided, as you can see, now these are all carried to the billing counter. As you can see, all of these are done there. All the details and all the payment that are supposed to be done are again taken to the billing counter. As you can see here also for medicines and tests, both of them are together done and they are again being connected to billing. So whatever process happens, it is being built up totally, and only when the payment status, that is only when the payment status is yes or no, that is if the payment is paid, only then the process will end. Otherwise the process will not end. The person will have to pay the bill and only then go out of the hospital. So this is how the process of this hospital organization works. So I think you have very well understood how this state chart should be drawn and how the further procedures must be carried out. So thank you.